This is True Crime and Scene. Today, we delve into a harrowing case that rocked a small community to its core. The tragic story of a Taylorsville teen is one filled with betrayal, suspense, and unexpected twists. A young life was cut short, but shockingly, there was no evidence, no witnesses, and no body. How could such a brutal crime go unpunished, shrouded in mystery? It all began on a chilly November evening when 17-year-old Craig Linder didn't return home after hanging out with friends. The local high school student was known for his bright smile and friendly demeanor, a beloved figure in his tight-knit community. Concern quickly turned into panic when his family filed a missing person report. Friends, family, and volunteers poured into the streets, determined to search for Craig. As days trickled by without a sign of Craig, the atmosphere grew thick with dread. Everyone wondered where could he be. In a desperate attempt to uncover the truth, the police began to investigate his last known whereabouts. They canvassed the neighborhood yet found no witnesses who could shed light on Craig's fate. Each person seemed to have a different story, all at odds with one another. Rumors began surfacing. Has he run away from home? Was he involved in something dangerous? Then came the shocking discovery a week after his disappearance. Investigators found his abandoned car parked near a nearby lake. The sight sent chills down the spines of those searching for Craig. It should have been a clue, an indication of where he might have gone, but instead, it opened up more questions than answers. What happened to Craig on that fateful night? If only someone had seen something. The police were in a race against time as they retraced his steps, interviewing friends, family, and classmates. Among them was a close friend named Jason, who admitted that Craig had seemed troubled in the days leading up to his disappearance. He had mentioned something about needing to get away, Jason revealed. But what did that mean? Did he want to escape, or was he afraid of something? As the police probed deeper, inconsistencies in Jason's story began to surface. One witness claimed to have seen Jason at a gas station on the night Craig went missing, buying unusual supplies. Why would he need to purchase those items? The swirling theories filled the town with paranoia, dividing friends and families. They questioned everything. Was someone hiding something? Was Jason involved? Then came the twisted revelation that would send shockwaves throughout Taylorsville. A mysterious phone call was made to Craig's family, claiming he was being held against his will. Who was on the other end of the line? Could it have been Craig? Or was it someone with a message laced in danger? The family felt lost and bewildered, yet a glimmer of hope flickered. Perhaps they could still find him alive. As authorities sought to track down the phone call's origin, they encountered yet another obstacle. There was no record of the call, no trace of its source at all. The noose around the investigation tightened, and as the spiraling doubt began to cloud everything, was Craig alive, or had he become a victim of something much darker? Days turned into weeks, and the search began to fade into a bitter memory. The community, once filled with urgency, started to come to terms with the reality that their beloved teen was still missing. But as they mourned, a seismic shift occurred. A few townspeople reported eerie sightings of Craig. Whispers of a figure matching his description roaming the woods at night poured into local news. How could this be? Innocent sightings turned into nightmares of speculation. As investigators attempted to follow these new leads, they quickly confronted more red herrings. Each tip seemed to lead them astray, devolving into a chaotic wave of misinformation. One witness even claimed to have seen Craig with an older man who had a reputation for trouble. But without solid evidence, the trail remained cold. Haunted by the search, Craig's family refused to give up. They organized vigils and community walks, stressing the importance of keeping his memory alive. But then came a crushing blow, a devastating discovery when divers searched the lake near where Craig's car was found. Their findings turned up nothing but silence. No body was recovered, no answers gained. Just as despair began to settle, a new source was unearthed: a woman named Lucy, who had lived on the outskirts of town. Lucy claimed to have spotted something out of the ordinary near the lake. "I saw a struggle," she told the police. "It looked like someone was in trouble." Her story sent chills through investigators. Was this the breakthrough they needed? Was Lucy the key to unlocking the mystery? When they brought her in for questioning, the plot thickened. Lucy's account was filled with discrepancies. She recalled the event in vivid detail, yet her memories seemed misplaced, as if they were stitched together from fragmented thoughts and half-truths. How could they trust her? Was she trying to protect someone? The layers of deception began to unfold before everyone's eyes. Rumors of Jason resurfaced. He had become the prime suspect, but without solid evidence connecting him to Craig's disappearance. He maintained his innocence. Their lives became intertwined in an intricate dance, a haunting game of cat and mouse that captivated the community. As investigators delved deeper into Jason's background, they uncovered surprising details: a hidden past that linked him to others who had gone missing in the area before. It felt as if they were unearthing a dark legacy, a sinister thread woven through the town of Taylorsville. Each new discovery sent shivers down their spines. The deeper they dug, the more tangled the web became. Was Jason involved in something larger than themselves? The implications swirled, creating an atmosphere ripe for paranoia. The line between friend and foe blurred, and animosities flared in the wake of Craig's disappearance. Just as they felt they might be closing in on a breakthrough, another twist turned everything upside down. An anonymous tip led investigators to a foreboding warehouse at the edge of town. It had been rumored that illicit activities had taken place there before. Could it be a site of unspeakable events? As the clock ticked down, investigators prepared for what could be a pivotal moment. Would they finally unravel the truth behind Craig Linder's disappearance? Or would hope continue to slip through their fingers like sand? As the investigation into Craig Linder's disappearance intensified, the atmosphere grew heavy with anticipation. The anonymous tip leading police to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Taylorsville could potentially hold the key to unraveling this tragic mystery. Was this the moment they'd been waiting for? On that fateful day, a team of detectives, flanked by forensic experts, swarmed the site, their hearts pounding in rhythm with the tension in the air. The warehouse stood silent, a dilapidated structure hiding dark secrets. Dust clung to everything, creating a thick fog of uncertainty that only heightened their determination. As they pushed open the creaky door, the musty scent of decay greeted them. The inside revealed scattered debris, forgotten crates, and remnants of long-lost memories. But as they explored the shadows, something caught their eye: a series of strange stains on the floor that hinted at a violent past. Had the warehouse indeed been a site for something sinister? With mounting urgency, they collected samples of the evidence, tagging them for analysis. Each step felt heavy, as if the very walls held secrets they were desperate to uncover. As they moved deeper into the building, the atmosphere shifted. An overwhelming sense of dread settled in what awaited them in the dark corners of this place. But just as they began to piece together the clues that could potentially lead them to Craig, a shocking development emerged. The forensics team confirmed the presence of human blood. The realization sent shockwaves through the department. Was this the turning point they had awaited? Hope surged alongside the dread. The blood sample could provide a significant breakthrough. As investigators began to connect the dots, they received word that Jason, still a person of interest, had been acting strangely. He had left town under suspicious circumstances, prompting authorities to issue a warrant for his arrest. Had he known they were closing in? Was he running from guilt, or was it something deeper? With every ticking minute, the case evolved from a labyrinth of confusion into something more sinister. Witness statements had swayed again, painting Jason in a darker light. Friends began to question his alibi, and several came forward claiming he had been evasive after Craig's disappearance, suggesting knowledge of something that had gone terribly wrong. As pressure mounted for Jason to be apprehended, a chilling narrative intertwined with the evidence began to unfold. The community buzzed with speculation, engulfed by anxiety as they clung to rumors. Could Jason really be involved? What if he was the last person to have seen Craig? The questions churned like a tempest, and the town watched with bated breath. Then came another shocking twist. While processing the blood samples, investigators realized the type and DNA matched not only Craig but also an individual with a dark past, a former town resident with a history of violence. It felt like they were rubbing their hands against a painful truth, igniting a flurry of fears about the implications. A connection began to form, suggesting that there was a pattern, a cycle of violence cloaked behind closed doors. Could it be that this former resident had ties to Jason? Had they been working together in something diabolical? Every new lead delivered more tension, driving investigators to dig deeper into the unholy alliance at play. Late one night, police received another unexpected call. A tip-off revealed that Jason had returned to Taylorsville. It was as if he could feel the weight of the investigation closing in on him. Yet he still dared to stalk the shadows of the very place where everything began. It was a moment of reckoning. They couldn't let him slip away again. With a tactical strategy in place, law enforcement successfully tracked Jace and down to a seemingly abandoned shack just outside of town. Officers formed a perimeter, ready to close in on their target. The tension was palpable. What would they find inside? They made their move, storming the shack, only to uncover nothing. No one was there. Where had Jason gone? The adrenaline flooded their systems, pumping air into the chase. Could Jason have escaped? Or was he just always one step ahead, playing a game of cat and mouse? As days turned to weeks, sorrow loomed heavily over Taylorsville. The community gripped by uncertainty, coupled with the impact of Craig's disappearance and the rising fear surrounding Jason. Morale weakened under pressure. Desperate to restore hope, locals rallied together yet again, some searching for Craig, others desperate to unveil Jason's whereabouts. Then, in a shocking development, the investigators received an anonymous message through social media. It contained a photo, a blurry image of a figure resembling Jason standing near a truck outside of town just a week prior. Was it a significant lead or an elaborate hoax? The clues continued to trickle in, leading them in circles. Deception blurred the lines of reality. Reevaluating their leads, they found new reason to explore connections between Jason and other suspicious figures in town who operated in the shadows. Who else had secrets? Could there be someone else hiding in the darkness, waiting for their time to emerge? In this relentless pursuit, investigators uncovered links to a clandestine network involved in illegal activities, including drug trafficking and human exploitation. Each shred of evidence added pieces to an intricate puzzle that echoed deeply within the community, a place where betrayal threatened to shatter the fragile bond of trust. The walls began to close in. As investigators pressed forward, they felt the pressure mount. Would they finally see justice for Craig? Or would the whispers of the past echo forever unanswered? Then came the day when authorities received a second anonymous tip that sent shockwaves through the office. A name was provided, a former associate of Jason's with direct ties to the shady activities in the area. If they could track him down, perhaps they could unearth the truth behind everything, information that could lead back to Craig. Time once again began to slip through their fingers as investigators rushed to track this new lead. The pressure felt palpable. The haunting uncertainty of Craig's fate loomed larger than life. Yet, a glimmer of hope remained. They were close. The tale surrounding the Taylorsville teen's disappearance is shrouded in shadows. Yet the truth is inching closer to the light. Will the search for Craig lead to his ultimate justice? Or will the darkness claim another story? The chilling conclusion awaits. and the clock ticks down as they grapple with consequences that reach far beyond their community.